Hey there, welcome to part 3 of this Icom IC R20 receiver, communications receiver review. On this part, we'll look at the good and the bad of this receiver. So we'll take a look at all the little features that might want you to either buy it or not. Like I said in a previous video, if you are buying a radio just to listen to the local police and law enforcement and that's all that you actually want to do, well, this is quite expensive just for that and complicated receiver, so you will be probably better off with a regular $150 to $200 range scanner. But this is a communications receiver which does lots more. Keep in mind, this is not a trunk scanner, so it does not follow conversations on the trunk levels. So keep in mind of these informations. The great features of this radio, well, the good for the frequency range is 150 kilohertz to 3 gigahertz. Except for a few of you out there in different countries that might actually have some of the frequencies taken out. The United States will have cell phone. France version will have holes everywhere and actually stops at 1.3 gigahertz, so export version. The bad side to that very wide frequency range is the usage of a down converter. And down converters actually have two drawbacks. They usually are less sensitive than the receiver itself. And the other problem I would say about the down converter drawback is that images will appear on high frequencies in the down converter because it down converts to regular frequency. So there could be issues where listening to a signal on a very high frequency might clash with a signal in the lower frequency because of image problems, because of the usage of a down converter. So that is to think about, but overall great performance. It's nice all mode features, AM, FM, FM wide, CW, upper and lower sideband. The drawback after 470 megahertz, higher than that, the single sideband modes and CW modes are not available anymore, which is a little drawback. Could have been available throughout the band, would have been nice. Now, the good thing also about this radio is its dot matrix display that actually adjusts itself depending on the amount of information. Very nice backlit display. The drawback of the display, of course, is the glass that slightly protrudes like outward from the radio. So what it does is actually the radio itself will have a it's easy to scratch. Great feature, dual watch function. That's fantastic. This receiver actually has two radios in one. So when you're in dual watch, you actually have two receivers working, and you can actually scan on one, listen on another one. It's a great feature also if you want to listen to the input of a repeater, for example, and the output at the same time. Also on some frequencies, like for example taxis usually have a frequency for the cars and a frequency for the control, and so you can put both of those frequencies in it and listen at the same time. They actually work at the same time, so if two frequencies have audio, you'll actually hear both audio at the same time. Another great feature on this radio, the record function. There's an IC recorder in this radio, so you can actually record up to 4 hours of audio. This is fantastic. One of the only radios I know that has such a feature integrated into the radio. Pretty cool. You can actually take that audio and via the USB port here, send it to your computer. The drawback though is that they are in ICW format. What is ICW? It's a very weird old system of audio, probably because Icom didn't want to pay any royalties to use the MP3 format. So that's the drawback, but there is a way to actually convert that to MP3, so don't worry about it, even though it's a little bizarre in a format, you can actually use the converter on your PC to convert the audio into a WAV file, which will be usable. It's very feature packed, so lots and lots and lots of stuff. Squelch settings, you can also have the tone squelch that will let you actually have the squelch or the scanner come on, give you conversations with specified squelch settings. The record function also has a nice little setting that lets it record only when audio is present. So for example, if you put it on a frequency where there's almost no conversations, you will actually not have dead air. It stops recording when there's no audio, and when the squelch trips because there's audio, then the record function starts recording. So that's pretty cool. Apart from that, there's a scope function. You have many tuning steps available. That is pretty cool. Very flexible receiver. And you also have your dial buttons VFO, like the tuning dial right here, the volumes, all the settings are very flexible. You have a complete menu inside, so it's pretty nice. Overall performance, like I said, overall performance. If you're in a big city with strong signals, it overloads easily, so you need to use the RF gain and the attenuators to actually help compensate. So I often use RF gain settings. 1250 memories in this radio, so lots and lots of memories for you to store all your information. There's also scan edges that you can actually program, so you can have pre-programmed scan ranges that you will scan. For example, you can put a scan edge from 400 and 420 megahertz, and then it will scan only that little range, and you got 10 of those scan edges, so it's pretty cool. Another setting, more than that, I think it's 25, sorry. So very flexible. You've got automatic frequency listing. That means that when you're scanning, you can actually you'll have 100 memories that are put aside that record every time your radio stops on a frequency, so you can look at that later on. And so like I said, very flexible, nice belt clip, very nice weight. Battery, actually the lithium-ion battery that comes with the radio actually really has a good, powers your scanner for many hours. It's very nice. I've gone full days using it from 8-9 in the morning up to 8-9 in the evening without even having to charge it. And so it's very nice for that also. And well, the instruction manual, some parts are good, some parts are bad. 95-page manual. And so look for the videos we'll put online where we will actually have our own manual online. So we'll have different functions explained in video here on this channel. So apart from that, very sensitive, very nice receiver. I've really enjoyed it. I've been using this Icom IC R20 for the past 2 years, and it's one of my favorite radios. Very nice. Of course, it's not a shortwave radio if you want to have a shortwave radio, because this is a very wide range receiver. It's not as good as a shortwave radio if you want to listen to shortwave, things like that. But most, radios that have very wide frequency bands are difficult to have good reception on all the bands. And nice little added feature also on the low bands of long wave and medium wave. There's actually an internal ferrite rod antenna, which is quite cool. And what's nice is you can actually go in the menus and turn it off if you want and use the antenna instead. There's also some FM reception that's possible through the using your earphone as an antenna for FM. So it's a pretty nice packed radio. And of course, look at the other videos where we'll explain how to use it. If you have a Icom IC R20, or if you plan on buying an IC R20, I think this is the channel where you'll have lots of information on this radio. So if you enjoyed these videos, click the subscribe button at the top of the screen, And if you have any comments or questions, let us know. It's always a pleasure to answer those questions and have feedback. So thanks for watching 73s, and look out for all those other videos coming up soon. Bye bye.